Well, the mayor of New Brighton, Minnesota, had a psychic break on camera the other night. She broke down in tears and was shaking after a city council member suggested that not every white person is the beneficiary of something called white privilege. Take a look.
If you don't understand white privilege, then you are not representing those people. You're not willing to listen to them. And what you have just said is the most racist.
Excuse me? Don't you ever accuse me of that.
White privilege exists, and it is something that we need to accept in this country. In my opinion, you're interrupting me, and by golly, I'm running this meeting.
We're on camera, and you're accusing me of something pretty big here. It's unacceptable because you have no case.
You're out of order. You're out of order.
Gina Bauman was the council member who was yelled at in that video, and she joins us tonight. Gina, Minnesota is such a nice state. You notice that everyone else in the video was sitting there politely as it goes on. So you were accused of having something called white privilege. You denied having that, whatever it is, and the mayor called you a racist and started crying. So let's just start with the facts. Are you privileged? Did you grow up privileged, like serious privilege, like Oprah-level privilege? Were you that privileged growing up?
No, I wasn't. I grew up in an Italian neighborhood for most of my childhood, and we were not privileged. They were working hard, and where we actually helped each other, we looked to your neighbors, your church, your friends and family, and we were not privileged. I did not grow up wealthy.
Right. So when you said that, I understood you to try to explain that, and then the mayor lost control and started yelling at you and started crying. What do you think about that answer drove her to tears of rage?
I think it's not her answer. So if it's not her definition or her answer, then that's why she kind of throws a fit. But I personally believe that it kind of started when the other council member began saying everybody has white privilege if you're white. And I believe that not to be true.
Right, that you should treat people as individuals.
I don't think privilege has a color.
Yeah, well, that's obviously true. And you should treat people as individuals, not as interchangeable members of racial groups. So her behavior suggested someone who, needs help. Do you think she's going to get that help?
No. If you actually know her,
yes,
that's a pretty common, that's very common for her to react that way if you don't agree with her. It's not unusual, and she does get it unhinged quite often if you don't agree with her.
Is this known to voters in Minnesota?
In our city, it's known to some, but really not. In local politics, it's kind of difficult to get more people engaged.
Yeah, well, we're hoping to change that. Hoping to let voters in your town know. Gina, thank you very much for coming on tonight.